But yeah, so awareness. And I was thinking about this because I was trying to figure out a lot of the stuff I talk about is stuff that I've seen experientially. And there's this aspect of consciousness, this aspect of being that I have experienced in the past, but I'm not sure if I am experiencing currently. And it's a state of awareness, of stillness. And I guess the way to describe it is everything that we experience in a moment by moment basis is always changing and always in motion. There is no stillness in a moment in time. There's no stillness in the now. And but because now is all that ever exists, whatever it is that's happening right now is the only thing that ever will happen. Wherever we are, or whatever we are, is always in the now. Even the past and the future, it arrives in the present. I can't be in the past. I'm always here experiencing what the mind is creating as an image of the past. But there is no past, there is no future. There's always just right now. So I was playing around with the idea that, or not playing around, but I was thinking about, everything's always changing. Thoughts are changing, feelings are changing. The people that are appearing in my life are arriving and disappearing. Every morning, and I told this to Melissa, like this morning and a couple mornings, I'm amazed to wake up next to a person, to her. Like, I'm just amazed. I can't believe that we get to share life together. And it's same with, I'll see Eli and I'll be like, holy crap, what a miracle, like that this person exists and is like the way he is. And I don't take anything for granted. I'm kind of morbid in the sense that the thought of death and the thought of life ending tends to occur naturally for me. And so I don't really, like, at any moment I always expect that I could be dead or everyone I love could be dead. It's just kind of a thing that I guess that I exist with. So, but on the plus side, it causes me to be very enamored by the fact that I get to share my life with another person or people, with other people. It's just amazing to me. And so I'm very aware of the impermanence of being, the impermanence of life, that at any moment in time, it could all end. Or the thing that I love that's around me or near me could be gone. We just never know what happens. So, and I also, along with the idea that, everything's always moving and changing, that there's no thought that ever stays, there's no emotion that ever stays. It's the weather of our lives is happening internally and externally at all times. Jobs change, what we do at our jobs change, our bodies are changing, our cells are changing every 7 years. There's all this stuff that's always, impermanent. So what is permanent was the question. And I was trying to onboard and acknowledge stillness or awareness or consciousness itself, and recognizing or seeing that as the only thing that's still. And I'm doing it right now. That's why it was quiet. Like, awareness, consciousness, stillness. It is still. And it's always present. It doesn't move. There's no form to it. There's no shape to it. There's no color to it. And everything that is appearing is from it, in it, and of it, as it. I don't know if I can say it's forever, though. And this is where I'm caught up. I'm caught up, like, the idea that this non-dual awareness or this consciousness is limitless and infinite. I don't know. I can't actually say whether it is infinite or limitless, But all these teachers, all these speakers that I listen to are always pointing to that. And my experience isn't allowing for it, because I recognize that if something were to, end this, or if my brain were to just stop, there would just be nothingness. So there would be, I wouldn't be able to say it's infinite or not. But at the same time, and this is what these teachers or these people, these philosophers that point at this allude to, they say at the same time, has consciousness ever not been? Have you ever not been here? And it's like, have I ever not? What was it like before I was? Does anybody know? And I don't. But I've had some experiences where I've melded into the void, or I've melded into the nothingness, and I've ceased to exist. And I saw the emptiness behind all form and all matter, or I was the emptiness, or I wasn't the emptiness. It's hard to explain, because it's not an experience, but it's something that I've fallen into, I guess. It's hard to, there's not many, I don't know how many words I could use to describe what isn't. And that's where it gets perplexing here. So the nothingness behind your eyes, the nothingness behind my own eyes, it is always, even when I'm not. So I guess the idea that if I were to be deleted from existence right now, consciousness would continue through you, and it would continue through whoever's listening or whoever's hearing. And the experience or the act of listening or seeing is consciousness itself. So that's, I think, what they're pointing at when they say there's no end to who you really are. There's no end to awareness, because it's manifesting and expressing itself through a myriad of forms, billions of different forms. You, Melissa, Eli, my parents, everyone I've ever known, everyone we ever will know is an agent of this consciousness, or an agent of this awareness that is always present. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking about. That's kind of the type of stuff we talk about here. If you're new, if you're just tuning in, this is the kind of stuff we talk about. It's the kind of stuff I'll probably be talking about forever, especially if people are interested in hearing more stuff about it. I like to do, meditation and sharing. This is the thing. I don't think I'm a teacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a guru guy. I'm not a spiritual guy. I'm just interested in the truth. I'm interested in Dharma. I'm interested in awareness, awakening, being. I'm interested in well-being. I'm interested in transcending the things that cause us pain, transcending the problems in our own lives. I'm interested in doing that, and then being in relationship with other people that are interested in that too. So it's not, I don't know exactly what it is I'm doing, or what type of material. I guess if it was anything, it's some form of philosophy, but it's really only about me. And I guess I have this assumption, or this idea that maybe it could connect with other people, that maybe what I'm experiencing or what I'm seeing, when shared or when understood, could be helpful. And I just don't know, though. I do know that I've shared a lot, and like I was sharing before, like I never really, whatever I say, I never really know if it lands or not, or if it's helpful, is because in meetings, in 12-step meetings through the course of my sober career, when people have came up to me and said something was helpful, I didn't remember saying it. I didn't know I said it. And it's weird, because the less it's a paradox, because me doing this type of stuff gets me out of the way. It's like some form of like exorcism. Like if I keep all these thoughts in my head, if I keep my feelings in my body, it kind of builds up tension. So I've got to be able to share and express as I move, or as I move through this experience. It's, there's times for listening, there's times for sitting, there's times for not saying anything, and then there's times for sharing. And I'm kind of a sharing type guy. Like I've always felt like, for me, meditation is best done in an activity. For me, meditation works best in motion. It works best in the day-to-day experience of life. So yeah, so that's I think that's all I got for tonight. I'll do one more check on the chat to see if anybody had asked some questions. Oh, we got something. We got somebody who shared something. Smiley face C5Y. So yeah, after I answer this or read this thought, we'll play some games. Play some World of Warcraft Classic TBC. So here it is. This is from Smiley Face. Hi. I've been watching your videos and I love your experiential knowledge of the non-dualistic experience and was wondering if I share my perspective, you can guide me just to see. Yes. Go ahead and share your perspective and I'll guide you just to see. So here's another comment. Hi, Mark Water. We are here and we love the videos. Thanks, dude. Thanks for that. But yeah, so let's, share your perspective here, Smiley, and I'll see if I can't help you guide you into the experience of seeing, just to see. Okay, maybe I can just based on what you said. I'll start, and then if you want to share your perspective, we can go into that. But so you're wondering if I can help guide you to just see. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is just be aware of what's occurring. Like, just take a second and just, like, the fact that you can hear my words, and if you're watching, see me on a screen, that itself is the seeing. Really quickly, what can happen really quickly is right after seeing, thoughts start describing what you're looking at or valuing it or judging it. But it's just the seeing itself is all meditation is, just being aware itself. So if you're aware of me speaking, that awareness before thought, before feeling, before coloring or value judging, just listening and trusting and allowing whatever it is to happen, just giving it permission to happen, seeing that is seeing. And that's it. And just returning to the space of seeing, like the self-inquiry video I put up is like, you can play around with that. You can wonder what is it that's doing the seeing, but you really don't. It's if you just hang out in the seeing itself and recognize that it's happening and start noticing when thoughts are occurring and feelings are occurring and just being aware of it, that's the meditative state. And just practicing that and returning to that, over time, you'll start to have an experience with it. And that was my experience, at least, is things have changed and gradually gotten, I hesitate to say improved, but no, the reason this is interesting and I think it's helpful to share is because it does make things easier and life more interesting, and experience itself tends to improve for me. So here's what you said. I conceptually know the truth, but not experientially. I know that I have to literally dissolve to this one knowing ever present, but my ego kicks in with, if I'm nothing in the space for everything. Interesting. I conceptually know the truth, but not experientially. I know that I have to literally dissolve to this one knowing ever present, but my ego kicks in with, if I'm nothing in the space for everything. Okay, so this is the first thing. You don't have to literally dissolve to this one knowing. You don't. It will happen on its own. And the moment that we're aware of it, it stops happening. So you actually won't know that you're dissolved into this everything or this nothing. The moment you think you know it, you've come back. Your ego's back. That's the trick of it. It's so sneaky. So you actually won't know it. Seeing is what is happening, okay? And then when you go, oh, I'm seeing, that's the ego again. And this is all an opportunity for meditation. Seeing, not seeing, falling into the stream of life as it's living itself through your experience. That's all it really is. There's nothing. I guess just in my experience, just when I can pull back and be the watcher of life as it's going, and then go back into the experience of being and living as it's unfolding, that back and forth, that's liveliness. That's aliveness. That's all it really is. Something about my ego is measuring resistance and effort within the illusory of a doer, right? Something about my ego is measuring resistance and effort within the illusory of a doer, right? So, and this is the thing where I kind of part ways with a lot of non-dual teachers. Like, two things can be true at once. The ego is necessary. It's not real in the sense that it's something you can grasp and hold on to, but it is real in the sense that you are a person with feelings and your own connections in this life, and you're a unique expression of the universe itself in the form of Smiley. Like that's you are a real person. Like, you are a person. You're also not a person. It's learning how to live in both of these perspectives that what I think it's about. Like, it's not wrong to be the one doing things. Like I've decided I'm going to read this book, and I'm going to let myself be Adam reading a book. That's fine. Then I can remember, oh, I'm actually really not. I am consciousness itself, experiencing itself as Adam. Both of the things can be true. It's like a bit of a dance. And Hi Markwater says, never got the feeling any of it's been forced. The videos have had a very natural feel with just a genuine conversation and sharing vibe. If I'm generally happier, not sober, and it's not negatively affecting my life that much. What's your argument for trying sobriety? Argument for trying sobriety? Like, why would I think that people should try sobriety? I don't. I don't. I just, it's like, that's the one thing is I used to think that I knew what could be helpful for other people. And I don't think I could recommend anything that I do to anyone else. Like, I can see how sobriety would be helpful in the sense that I can see the positives of it, but I wouldn't know why somebody would want to if they didn't need to. Because I'm like a hardcore drug addict, alcoholic. Like, I could not stop using drugs or alcohol. It was an act of grace and a miracle that I managed to get off the substances. And then when I did get sober, the reason why I've been sober ever since I started was because I knew I was going to use again. I knew I couldn't stop myself from drinking or drugging. Like, it was on its way. It was going to happen unless I did something. And I remember looking at the steps on the wall and realizing I'd never done the steps, but I'd seen hundreds of people complete the steps, and they pick up their year chips and they say, I did the steps. I got a sponsor. I take people through the steps, and now my life is unimaginably great. I'm a year sober. I'm a 2 year sober, 3 year sober. I saw hundreds of people doing that. Sitting in that meeting, knowing I was going to drink or use again if I didn't do something, and looking at the steps, I was like, well, I need to do that, because if I do that, I'll have the experience they had. And it proved true in my experience. Everything that happened to them happened to me. What's your argument for trying sobriety? I don't. Fair enough. Yeah. It doesn't hurt. Like, shit, I can't really do anything. My will sucks, dude. Like, I tried to stop nicotine. If it wasn't for Melissa, I would still be smoking. I was begging her to grab the vape. Like, it was sad. It was very sad. So I can't even do things that, I don't have a will like that. So I can't really, if I were to try to do something, I don't know how well it would work at all. But yeah, I've never met somebody who's been sober and said it's made their life worse. That's never happened. For the first 2 months of no nicotine for me, it definitely made my life worse. I was like, this sucks. And everybody I would talk to who asked me how it was going, I'd be like, it's not worth it, dude. Keep smoking. Like, you don't want what I have. You don't want no part of this, Ricky Bobby. Yeah. I need to turn the fan on. I hope that was helpful, Smiley. Yeah, just don't try to make the ego disappear. You completely stop trying to, don't try to do, when you notice yourself trying to do something or make something happen, noticing it is the work. Being aware of it, like you're lucky if you're aware that you're trying to do something. The awareness itself, watching it, for me, I like to write, or I'll call somebody, or I'll talk to somebody, or I'll just get out of my own way. That's the whole process. And over time, it also, like, the other thing I noticed too, which is really cool, is listening to talks like this, or listening to other non-dual type stuff, or even just like completely dropping all of it and just going towards brainless, mindless stuff like video games or YouTubers that are talking about lifestyle stuff, like just completely drop the whole thing, is also a very helpful technique to move beyond the knot that I've experienced when I'm trying to differentiate what is true, what is me, and what is real. It's like sometimes I just got to let go of everything and do some hood rat stuff. Today was my first day without nicotine. Pray for me, brother. Prayers your way, dude. Good fucking luck, dude. It sucks. It really does. I'll commiserate with you. Awareness is always consistent no matter what I do. Yes. Yeah. Awareness is always there. Yeah, it always is. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for the questions. I'm looking forward to editing this. I'll hopefully have it out, the full video out Wednesday. We'll see how quickly I can get this stuff bounced out from live onto the channel. But now we're gonna get to, now's the time where we get to play World of Warcraft. So if you're tuning in from the YouTube, thanks for joining. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and if I go live, you can hop on and ask any questions or share your experience with any of this type of stuff. And we'll see you next time. In the words of Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan, stay excellent. Those are the Wild Stallions from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.